One of the features that the students tell me they really like in the class that I'm teaching this semester is podcasting. And so I thought I would take you through a little bit of an overview of how to create a podcast and add it to your Blackboard course. So if you're not familiar with podcasting, it's really quite simple to do. It's basically an audio file that is uploaded to your, in this case, into Campus Pack, and then the students can synchronize their mobile device, their like an iPod or a phone, to that feed, that RSS feed that comes off of that, and then they can download any particular podcast or any future podcasts that you may create and upload. So you can see what I have here is two podcasts, and these are basically about 10 or 15 minute chapter overviews, some synthesis of some readings that they listen to. And when I click on one of these, it's going to open up the actual place where the podcast is, and it will start playing. Hi everybody, the this podcast. Is Rob Gibson back again. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. At least you can sort of see what the end result of that is. So let me go back into this real quick. Let me show you where we actually do that. Let me go back one screen. And the product I recommend using is, let me scoot this over here, is a product called Audacity. And it's free to download. It's very simple to use. It's just a simple little audio capture utility. You just hook up a headset or a microphone, and you simply click and you're recording. And you can see that I'm recording right now. So let me go ahead and click on stop, and we're going to export that as an MP3 file. And I'll put that on my desktop, and we'll just call that test. And we can give it a title. The artist, the album, and the genre if you wanted to, because it is thinks it's an actual audio file for something that's like music. You don't have to fill in information if you don't want to. And you've got a MP3 file on your desktop, and then what you can do is go into Campus Pack and click on Add Content. And then we're going to select on Podcast. Now these are the default icons, but I've got some better icons down here. So we're going to click on this one because I like this icon just a little bit better. So we're going to call this New Test Podcast. Description is optional. Single copy for all of the students. I'm going to click on Add. Now I'm going to click on a new episode. And an episode is the actual podcast feed. And the next screen is going to ask me where the media is. Now, notice I can also record the media here as well. There's a record option that's built into Campus Pack that allows me to create the MP3 file directly inside of the product. In this particular case, I used Audacity simply because it provides me some additional editing capabilities that the Campus Pack product does not. I'm going to upload the file. Let's find that test file, MP3. There it is. Okay. Description, I'm going to save and exit. Okay, so there's the episode. It's been uploaded. You simply click and you're recording, and you can see that I'm recording just like that. You have uploaded an MP3 file, and it's actually a podcast now. Notice too that you've got some synchronization features up here, but these will only be available when you make the podcast available as a potential download to anybody in the world, and that's set through your permissions options. So you come over to your permissions options and you allow everyone in the world to be able to view or listen to that. So I'm going to select everyone in the world, click Add. You can see that that's been added. I'll click on Save and Finish. And when I do that, you can see that the RSS feed options are now available to me. So at this particular point in time, what you can do is open up the RSS feed, and depending upon whatever feed reader a student happens to be using, they can just basically copy the I'm going to copy the location of that, copy link location of that RSS feed. They can go into a feed reader such as Google Reader or another reader and paste the RSS feed that they've copied, and that then makes a basically a synchronized podcast. They can every time they open up Google Reader and you've uploaded a new podcast, it will upload or play that podcast for them on their device. You can also do the same thing for iTunes. So you can synchronize your podcast to iTunes and it will download to iTunes automatically. You just simply follow the same process by going through iTunes, and then every time the student opens up their iPod, any podcast that you've uploaded will be available. So again, I really think this is a very powerful feature. I really like these little podcasts that you can create. They're a great way to synthesize the content. The students have indicated to me that they really enjoy listening to these. In fact, they listen to them before they actually start the readings of the chapter, which I found sort of interesting. So take a look at that. When you're done with that, you can also delete the podcast if you want. There's a trash icon, or you can move these around. You can actually move it up in the order if you'd like. If you don't want it to be at the very bottom, that's very simple to manage as well. So that's a little bit about podcasting using the Campus Pack feature inside Blackboard. If you're not familiar with how to get to the Campus Pack feature, it's inside of your toolbox. And there'll be a Campus Pack collaboration space link there, and that's where you can simply add those podcasts.